Is this Hauntline Studios? My name is Elias Vance. I'm 34, from Vermont. I've been working as an embalmer for almost 9 years now, and I'm calling because something happened 3 nights ago that I can't explain. I've tried to convince myself it was stress, fatigue, anything, but I can't ignore what I saw, and I can't ignore what happened after, because whatever that was, I don't think it stayed in that room. If you've never been inside a morgue, it's not like what people imagine. It's quieter, colder. Not just temperature, but atmosphere. Everything feels paused, like time doesn't move the same way. My job is simple. Bodies come in, I prepare them. Drain the blood, preserve the tissue, make them presentable. Make them look like they're just sleeping. You learn very quickly to separate yourself. You have to. Because if you start thinking about who they were, what they meant to someone, you won't last long. So you build a routine, a system. You stop seeing people. You start seeing process. And after a while, nothing surprises you anymore. At least, that's what I believed. The facility I work in is small. 6 cold storage drawers along the wall, 1 prep table in the center. Steel, clean, reflective. Fluorescent lights above that flicker just enough to remind you they're there. There's always a hum, low, constant, from the refrigeration units. You stop hearing it after a while, until the night it feels louder than usual. And the smell, people think it's overwhelming. It's not. It's subtle. Chemicals, metal, and something faint underneath. Something organic. Something that doesn't belong in a place this clean. That night, it felt stronger. It was just past midnight. Quiet shift, no interruptions. Only one body scheduled. Male, mid to late 50s. Listed cause of death, cardiac arrest. No trauma, no complications. Routine case. I remember thinking how easy it would be. Finish early, get out. Maybe even sleep before sunrise. I logged the entry, checked the paperwork. Everything matched, everything normal. That should have been my first warning. I pulled open drawer number 4. The metal rails slid out with that familiar sound, that hollow, dragging scrape. The body was inside the bag, zipped, still, toe tag attached. I leaned in to read it. Name, age, time of death. Everything correct. Everything accounted for. But as I stood there, looking at the body, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Hesitation. Not fear. Not yet. Just resistance. Like my body didn't want to move forward. I shook it off. Just tired, I told myself. I've worked too many night shifts, too many hours. Your mind starts playing tricks. So I unzipped the bag. The moment the zipper opened, the air changed. That's the only way I can describe it. Not colder, not warmer, just different. Like opening a door to a room you didn't realize was sealed. I paused, waited. Nothing happened. So I continued. I pulled the body out, lifted it onto the table, positioned it like I always do, head straight, arms at the sides. And that's when I noticed something strange. The skin wasn't right. Not discolored, not damaged, just too normal. Too fresh for someone who had been dead for hours. I leaned closer, checked the face. No stiffness, no signs of settling. Almost like he had just fallen asleep. That happens sometimes. Different conditions, different environments. Nothing unusual, that's what I told myself. But the feeling didn't go away. That same quiet resistance. Like something was telling me to stop. But I didn't. Because that's not how this job works. You don't stop. You continue. I turned on the overhead light. It buzzed to life, bright, clinical. I reached for my tools, prepared to begin. And then I saw it. The chest move, just slightly, barely anything. Enough to make me stop. I stared at it, waited. Nothing. No movement, no sound. I stepped closer, watched carefully. Seconds passed. Then another rise, slow, shallow, like a breath. No, I said quietly. That's not possible. I checked the wrist. No pulse. Neck. Nothing. I leaned down, placed my ear near the chest. Silence. Then, a faint sound, like air moving through something it shouldn't. Not lungs, something else. I stepped back. Every instinct in me said the same thing. Leave. But I didn't, because I needed to understand. I stayed, and that was my mistake. I tried to continue the procedure, forced myself to focus, hands steady, movements controlled, but I couldn't stop looking at the face. The eyes were closed, but something about them felt active, not resting, waiting. I caught myself staring longer than I should. Then I realized something worse. It wasn't just me looking at it. It felt like it was looking at me, even with its eyes closed. I leaned closer, closer than I ever should have, and then the eyelids twitched. I froze. Slowly, very slowly, the eyes opened, just enough to look directly at me. And in that moment, I knew something was wrong. Not with the body, with me, because it wasn't waking up. It was already awake, and it had been watching me the entire time. The eyes opened. Not wide, not suddenly, just enough to look directly at me. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Every part of me locked in place, because I knew one thing instantly. This wasn't someone waking up. This wasn't confusion. There was no panic in his eyes, only awareness, like he had been watching me for a long time. "No," I whispered. My voice didn't sound like mine. It sounded small, wrong. I stepped back, slowly, carefully, waiting for something to change, waiting for him to stop. But he didn't. His eyes followed me, not fast, not sharp, just steady, controlled, like he had all the time in the world. Then his lips moved, dry, cracked, barely opening, and in a voice that didn't belong in that room, he said, "You forgot something." I didn't respond. I couldn't. My brain refused to process it. Because bodies don't speak. They don't move. They don't look at you. And they definitely don't remember anything. But he did. He knew. "What?" I managed to say. My voice shook. The word barely came out. His eyes didn't leave mine. And then he smiled. Not wide, not exaggerated, just enough to show that he understood something I didn't. And then he sat up, slowly, Not like someone waking up, not like someone struggling. Smooth, controlled, like the body had never been lifeless at all, like it had just been waiting. The sheet slid off his chest. His arms moved. Not stiff, not delayed. Natural. Too natural. I stumbled back. My hand hit the tray. Tools crashed to the floor. The sound echoed through the room. But he didn't react. He just watched me, sitting there, on the table, alive in a way that made no sense. "You always rush the last one," he said. His voice was clearer now, still wrong, still hollow, but stronger, like it was getting used to speaking. "I don't know you," I said, but even as I said it, I wasn't sure that was true, because something felt familiar. Not his face, not his voice, but the feeling, like this moment had already happened, like I had stood in that same spot before, looking at something that shouldn't exist. He tilted his head, studying me. Then he looked around the room, at the drawers, at the walls, at the door, like he was remembering or learning. Then he looked back at me and said, "This is where you left me." "No," I said immediately, too quickly, too defensive. "I've never seen you before." But my voice cracked because something inside me didn't believe that. The lights flickered, just once, but enough to break the moment. And when they stabilized, he was standing right in front of me, closer than he should have been, closer than I saw him move. I didn't see him step down. I didn't see him cross the space. He was just there, standing, looking directly into my eyes. "You forgot," he said again, softer this time, almost calm, like he wasn't accusing me, just reminding me. And that's when it hit me. Not all at once, but in pieces, fragments, memories I didn't want. Late nights, rushed work, mistakes, things I told myself didn't matter, things I chose not to think about. There had been a body, weeks ago. Late shift, just like this. I was tired, distracted. I rushed, I skipped steps. I didn't check carefully. I assumed. And I closed the drawer, too early. "I wasn't finished," he said. His voice was steady now, clear. Wrong in a way I can't explain. "You left me there." He leaned closer, so close I could feel the cold from his skin, and he whispered, "I waited." Then everything stopped. The lights, the hum, the air, all of it felt frozen. And then he was gone, back on the table, lying still, exactly where he had been, eyes closed, mouth slightly open, like nothing had happened. I stood there for a long time, not moving, not thinking, trying to decide if I had lost my mind. Then I looked at the toe tag, and my stomach dropped because the name was gone, completely blank. And since that night, every time I finish my shift, I check the drawers one last time, because sometimes one of them is slightly open, and I don't remember leaving it that way. If you're listening to this late at night, in a quiet room, just remember, not everything that's still is dead. Subscribe if you want to hear more stories like this, because the next voice you hear might not be a story.